So just for some context, um, so I'm repairing this Nissan Altima that I got for $300. Very cheap vehicle. So having to fix some problems on it, not a problem. The main problem that I knew about when I purchased the vehicle is the throttle body. It has this coolant bypass that it opens up more as you press the throttle, so it helps cool the engine actively, whether the thermostat is open or not, when you apply throttle. Okay, which makes sense, I guess. But here, this little nipple that corresponds to this one that you put the hose over, it disintegrated from rust and whatever, right? And I attempted a temporary patch, and for a little while that worked. But the reason that there's all of this orange, that's actually rust-filled coolant that got all over the engine bay when this blew. So I went onto eBay and I found several people who were selling what looked like a perfectly fine working one with all of the parts attached, and I chose the one that at the time had the best price, and they turned out to ship me the wrong part. So this is for a 1999 Nissan Altima, and what they shipped me was for a 97 Maxima, right? And to their credit, they label their parts. They actually, all of the parts that they have, they paint this label on there. And the one in their listing, it did actually say, I think it said 98 Altima, but it's the same engine, 98 through 2001, so not a problem at all. And they got back to me when they were getting ready to ship it, and they sent a picture of it about like this, noting that position sensor there was broken. And I was like, well, that's not a problem because I already have one. So, if this doesn't work, I can just use that old position sensor there. It just has two screws, right? That's easy. Okay, not a problem. Go ahead and send it. And then this arrived, and I realized, oh, they actually sent me the wrong part, and that's the fact that this broke. It wasn't like they dropped it or something right before they shipped it. It's that actually this was a different part, and they mixed it up in ordering in shipping. Not a problem. So I as soon as I see it, I messaged them and I was like, okay, it's the part that you sent me accidentally is the wrong part, but it looks like, because I hadn't had this off yet, so I wasn't entirely sure that this wouldn't work. So I was like, well, it looks like it might work. I'll take a look. I'll try see if it'll fit, see if I can get this to work for me. And either way, I'll let you know. And then tinkering around with it, actually opening things up a little bit, getting in there, it became obvious that I could not make this work. So I got back on messaging with them and let them know there's nothing I can do with this part. How would you like me to send it back to you? Like, I said it that way. Like, there was no question. It was like, I'm definitely going to return this to you. And yeah, because it's not of any value to me. I 100% intend to give this back to you because this is your business. This is inventory for you. You can get this back in your inventory and resell it and make some money off of it. I'm not here to screw you over. That's I understand we're doing business and a mistake was made. Not a problem. Let's work together to resolve this. And they're like, no, don't worry, just keep it. We'll issue a refund. That's fine. I was like, wow, these guys are great. This is a beautiful attitude that they have. It's not a problem. Very high feedback. I left a recommendation for the seller. I was like, these guys are cool. When they make a mistake, they own it. They recognize, they're willing to accept that they made a mistake in shipping and whatever. They sent the wrong part. Not a problem. They deal with it perfectly. I would absolutely buy from these guys again. 100%, because this was just, I'm sure they have a high volume and whatever, something just happened, and this got mixed up with my order. Not a problem at all. I don't have a problem there. You know, like, shit happens. Okay. But that did mean that I had to go and find another vendor for the throttle body that is on the car now. So I was delayed a few days in that, but whatever. That's fine. The car needs a lot of work still, so it's not like it's driving around even now. So a few days, whatever. Okay. So just for some context, it's not my problem with the radiator mount vendor isn't that they sent the wrong part, and it isn't about the refund. It's about the fact that they are so insistent on lying and acting as if they never make a mistake. Mistakes get made. Mistakes get made. This is a much more expensive part than those radiator mounts, right? This was something around like $40, 45, something like that. Okay, and the vendor on this ate that. They totally ate that. They didn't have me send this back to them. They're just like, don't worry about it, just keep it. And I was like, wait, what? Really? That's okay. that I don't even know how to respond to that, honestly. Like, thank you doesn't feel like the right word. But yeah, no, we do so much volume that it's not worth it to us to get that back. Whereas with the radiator mounts, you know, it's like $9, something like that. Like, it's still money, right? But they're like, oh no, just send it back to us so we can issue a refund, while denying that they made a mistake. Like, that is a very different attitude and approach. And it comes off as aggressively narcissistic. Yeah, like there's just a refusal to acknowledge that they did anything wrong. And it's not a big mistake. This is a bigger mistake, and these guys, and I think these were also Chinese people. I'm pretty sure this is a Chinese-run distribution facility. No problem at all. Like, these guys were chill as hell. They were awesome, and like, even if they were like, yeah, no, like, please send it back to us. I have no problem with that. I wanted to send this back to them. And they're just like, nah, don't worry about it. Yeah, like, these guys way the hell chiller than the radiator mount dudes. Like, totally different approach. Superficially, I can see why you might be like, well, they both did the same thing. They both said just we'll issue a refund. The one, no, the difference is, here I offered to return the part, and I don't think I even asked for a refund. I said, would you like me to return it to you? I think I said it like that. And they're like, no, don't. That's fine. We'll just issue a refund. Okay, so it was a very, very casual, laid-back way of going about it. Very chill, like, understand how this business works. Whereas the radiator mount people are like, no, you return it to us, and then we'll issue a refund. And I'm like, but you haven't admitted that you sent the wrong part yet. How can I trust that you're going to do that right? And they're like, no, we're sorry that it didn't fit your car, but we didn't send you the wrong part. Like, over and over and over, they kept saying that shit. Like, no, you're approaching this in a really weird way. I am not comfortable dealing with you any further. What the fuck? Especially, like, this happened, like, 2 weeks ago. Like, this is pretty fresh. This is pretty fresh in my memory of, like, how well this transaction went. I would love to buy radiator mounts from these guys. I actually will probably, I'm going to go look if they have them, because they have a bunch of parts for this era Nissans, and actually I think I might look at that and see if they do. But mostly they do like used stuff that they pull, probably from junkyards. Um, so I don't know that they will, because a fresh rubber bushing, I don't think they'll have that. But I'm gonna actually go check because I like these guys. I would very much like to do business with these guys again. And I probably end up will somehow. It was somehow or other, and I would highly recommend them. Um, I'm gonna actually in in the description or something. I will put a link to their eBay store because these guys I like. These guys respectable, very good. They did business very nicely. I appreciate them. Yeah, so I just thought it would be valuable to see that like I'm not just being a dick. There is something real here that I'm reacting to. All right, like, and I am familiar with eBay transactions not going perfectly. That happens. Like, I don't use like Amazon or things like that because Amazon screws you. Amazon, I don't like their business model. I don't like them as a company. eBay, it's much more. You're much more likely to be dealing with individuals directly. Like the throttle body that I ended up getting, it was just some guy in Ontario, like that pulled it out of his old Altima that he's just parting out to sell or something like that. Like I don't know 100% how he got it, but this is just some dude. It's just some dude. This was from. I might have just been some dude, but I think it was probably a few guys, like a little company, and they pulled these off, out of a junkyard. That's my guess. This is definitely not a brand new part. There's corrosion and stuff. This is definitely pulled from an old car, but it's in perfectly usable condition, right? You just hit that with a little bit of sandpaper or something, that's fine. These ports are totally fine. I have no doubt this is a totally perfectly functional throttle body. Even with this, like, because these pins are still here. This position sensor probably still works just fine. Like, yeah, I have no issues with this. Yeah, but generally I would rather do business over eBay. Because you're more likely to actually be able to contact and work with individuals or small business owners. Whereas on Amazon, it's very weird. Just the whole approach to me just feels toxic. So yeah, I do a lot of business through eBay, and I am generally fairly careful. But this thing with the bushings, it just got ridiculously out of hand. Unfortunately, I would much prefer that it didn't go that way, but it did, so whatever.